Hey guys, welcome to Tyson's Fitness Tips podcast. If you want to lose weight, increase your energy, improve your health and fitness, and look your best, then you have come to the right place. My name is Tyson Brown. I'm a personal trainer, and my job is to help you transform your body by sharing with you the most up-to-date information on health and fitness. I'm going to distill it all down for you into bite-sized actionable steps that you can take immediately to see results quickly. Now, every Tuesday and Thursday, you can expect a brand new episode, which will be a mixture of interviews with top experts from around the world in the fitness space, and as well as solo episodes from myself, sharing with you exactly what action steps you need to take to transform your health, your body, and your life. And that means you are going to get information from all different areas in regards to mindset, nutrition, fitness, things you wouldn't even think that are associated with your health and fitness, but are going to blow your mind. So let's get into the episode. Hey, before we get into the episode, I just want to let you know my brand new book, Ditch the Diet, has just come out and I'm giving away a couple of free copies. So if you want to go into the draw to win a free copy, all you have to do is share this podcast on your Instagram. All you have to do is click the share button, go to Instagram, put it in your stories, and then tag at Tyson the Trainer, and you'll go in the running. All winners will get the free copy of my book sent straight to your door, and I'm telling you, this book will be a game changer. So that's, once again, all you have to do is make sure that you take a screenshot, you share this, and you tag me on Instagram, and you will go into the running. All right, let's get into the episode.
Sounds good, Ron. Game, man.
All right, let me do my quick intro. We'll get started. What's going on, guys? It is Tyson Brown here, back with another episode of Tyson's Fitness Tips. So it's currently 4:30 in the morning where I am. It's 2:30 in the afternoon where Huss is, and it's really cool because I can bring on people from all over the world. Now, one of my friends, Huss, who I'm bringing on today, the reason I'm bringing him on is because he's got this little thing where he loves to eat lasagna every Friday. And, like, I'm not talking, like, a little bit of lasagna. I'm talking, like, a fucking big tray of it. And that's why I was like, you know what? We've got to bring him on. We've got to talk about this because, Huss, you're able to do that and stay pretty lean all year round. Isn't that right?
Correct, yes, at 100%.
Yeah,
100%.
so like, I was like, you know what? If he can do it, and I know you guys have certain foods you love, just like I have certain foods I love, I want to bring him on. I want to talk about it. So, Huss, thank you so much for coming on today. Why don't you tell us a bit more about yourself and your background, first of all, so people can get an idea about who you are?
Hey, Tyson, man, thanks for having me, bro. I'm super pumped to be on the show. So a little bit about me. It's funny stories. I got into lasagna because I was a wrestler for 6 years. So I used to do basically, I had to basically not eat. So I would work out really hard 2 to 3 times a day. I would have like rubber bags and trash bags over me and jump roping in the shower at 5 a.m. in the morning with nothing to eat and like a dry mouth, trying to lose this last bit of weight to compete. So that was my life for 6 years. And I was I was like, well, how old was I? 12 or 10 to my year like 17. So this was pretty young. And I still I was ripped and shredded, but the price was just brutal, man. Couldn't eat when it was just crazy, man. Oh my God. So fast forward to that, I was in college, I was on a pre-med track, hated the med school idea. And I just loved fitness, man. And, the thing I love about lasagna, it really is the food, but like back in the day, or still to this day, me and my family it reminds me of like big holidays like Thanksgiving, Christmas. Me and my family would sit down and we would just start eating. And my most favorite dish was lasagna. I was just always around lasagna, and it just reminds me of good times. And I realized that, hey, listen, you don't have to suffer and go on a juice cleanse diet to lose weight and keep it off. Like I'm 30 next month, and I've been eating lasagna for almost 20 years, and I'm still pretty lean, and I love it. So that's kind of what I show people how to do: eat lasagna and lose and not get fat, like the Garfield style.
That's so cool, dude. Okay, question though: when it comes to lasagna, are you a crunchy or a soft lasagna fan?
A who?
Crunchy or soft?
Soft, bro. Soft. I don't like the hard ones. Yeah. Sorry, man. You're a crunchy guy, I'm
I
assuming?
love the crunchiness one. Like my mum, she only makes it really good. Like she's very hit and miss, right? Not a very good lasagna fan. When she makes it and it's nice and crusty on the top with some cheese, oh man, it's the best way to have it.
So, man, I don't know, man. So you like the corners? You like the
Yes,
corners? You're a corner
yes,
guy.
yes, for
See?
sure.
I know this. I'm a lasagna expert, man. You see the? Can they see the shirt?
Yeah, workout for lasagna. That's sick. I love that shit.
Bro, man, I got it. One of my clients got it for me, man.
Uh,
It's a movement, man. I'm forming a movement.
That's awesome, dude. So yeah, you came from the wrestling background. You started getting into health and fitness. You realized that, like being able to still enjoy the food you love and not go through all the suffering to give up those foods. How did you like? Give us a bit of background. Like, how do you have it? Like, do you have it daily? Is it once a week? Like, when do you usually make time to have your lasagna?
It's funny. That's a great question. So what I do is for myself as well as my online clients. The reason I love lasagna so much is since I do love it, like I said, it's like a reward system. So I have it for once a week. So I have a stack, like I have a to-do list for the week or whatever the case is. So what keeps me motivated, kind of since I'm like a goal-oriented person, if I read like 200 pages or do 50 journal entries and workouts 3 to 4 times before that Friday night. It's every Friday night I go to this place named Ramos, and the lasagna has a funny story. It's this old Sicilian recipe. The lady won't give me the recipe, but it's a family restaurant, and the lady has a Sicilian plate of lasagna for me every Friday night around 7 o'clock. I pick it up. It costs me $14.50 American currency, and that's it. So it's once a week, a tub of lasagna, and I basically save my calories for that one meal at the end of the day. So I kind of go like on a fast, intermittent fasting in a way for the day. But for the most part, majority of my meals comes at 7 p.m. in a tub of lasagna, bro. So once a week.
Nice, dude. Okay, so you just said one key thing there is that you save your calories, right? So when we're talking about that, can you give us an idea about like what do you mean by saving calories? I don't like some people might not understand exactly what that means.
Excellent question. So basically, saving my calories it's like so the majority of my meal. Like, so I kind of just store all my calories for the day in one meal. But I won't, it's not like I'm going on a total fast. I'll have some light salad, some fruit. But for the majority, storing my calories is like if you need 2,300 calories for the day for your body just to be in maintenance, I'm going to use 1,800 or 1,700. I'm going to save it for that last meal. But I will have like fruits, vegetables, like salads, like water, stuff to get me through the day. But the majority of that food is at that time of the night. So I just stored whatever my overall caloric intake for the day, which is usually like 2,400. I'll get at least 18 to 2,000 out of that lasagna. It's just so I can kind of stay, within that range.
Nice, dude. And so it kind of sounds like you follow the same approach as me. When you want that big meal, you save your calories, you do a longer fast type of thing.
Yes.
So
Yes.
so in regards to that, how can people go about this? Let's say people want to be able to have, I don't know, let's say KFC or lasagna or whatever it's going to be, right? How do people go about knowing how many calories they need to be able to eat first? Like, is there a certain way you explain to people how to do it?
So, how many calories they could do what?
How many calories they need in general? Like, how can people start to figure that out?
That's a good question. So basically, similar to intermittent fasting, what I do is most of my clients, you can just find this stuff on a calculator. It's called the BMR, like your basic metabolic rate. You can just put your height and weight, I believe in, and it gives you like an overall ballpark. So if you're trying to lose fat, they're gonna give you a different based off your goal. So if you're trying to lose fat, they're gonna give you a different number. If you're trying to gain muscle, as far as like, carbs, fats, and proteins. I don't want to bore people with the science, but, carbs, fat, and proteins is a ratio. So they just play with your ratios based off what your goals are. So if you're whatever you're trying to do, I usually more of my clients go on a calculator online, you can just Google it, and it gives you a rough estimate. And then at that point you have to, unfortunately, it's not the most sexiest thing. You have to scale some of your meals, like on MyFitnessPal or count calories, whatever you like to do. And then you could just from that, you can kind of play and experiment what works for you. So you just fine tune it a little bit, and then you're able to kind of design or just fine tune your calorie intake. So usually if people are trying to lose weight, they kind of, the starchy carbs are a little like smaller quality and quantity, and then the proteins are a little bit larger, and so are the fats. So obviously for that Friday night, the carbs are just excessive on that for that one day. But then you go back down to maintain them, say 30% of your diet, 35. And the cool thing is like MyFitnessPal, it gives you the ratio, so you can always and you don't have to. You can even scan your food, so you can kind of like, see for yourself where you're dropping the ball, if you're gaining too much weight or whatever the case was. And then just goes to adjusting. But there is an experimental period. It doesn't mean, if you go on Monday, you'll have if they say, for women, I think it's like 1,600 or 1,400. That doesn't mean that everything's going to be fine and dandy the next way. And you have to kind of fine tune, your approach. That's why my program, basically they have to get to a certain weight in a certain like general health, like a general health point before they actually have lasagna. So we're actually fine tuning before we bring in lasagna. So by the time you eat your lasagna, you'll already know like your macros and, your protein, fats, your carbs. So you're already aware of that stuff.
Oh, dude, you covered that like in such great detail. I think people need to realize that, like, knowing, like, being aware first before you do any of this stuff and knowing that you're hitting your targets on point is so key and important. Because, I mean, yeah, like anyone can go and have the lasagna whenever they want, but it doesn't mean they're going to get the body they want,
Exactly. And the point is, it's our job, I think, as professionals to kind of like get the word out there, let people know, like, yes, you can. And for me, like, I'm passionate about it because, like I said, I was a wrestler. So 7 years of my life in high school and junior high were basically rice cakes, peanut butter, and like an apple, and a half a glass of water. All my friends were eating pizza and donuts and like, fries and whatever the case was. So it's like you don't have to switch off long workouts and no food, like food you enjoy, to get like lean. Like, it's not going to work. You're not going to comply. And that's why people fall off diets and, sort of fall off like these new plans they get. And it's because it's not fun. If you find something you like to have to eat, like lasagna, and you're able to work toward it, it kind of gives you like a little sense of reward. It's like a bonus.
Dude, I know exactly what you're saying. At the moment, I've been rewarding myself some Halo Top ice cream at the end of the day. And it's just like, and that's the thing. You've got to find something that you can take pleasure in, that you enjoy, but also you can have that restraint to not have every day and go crazy and go nuts. Because there are certain foods that are trigger foods that'll just make people go way too far.
Exactly. It just it's just the emotional release, and it's just kind of like, unfortunately, I feel like people are really stressed out. So a lot of the release or the good stuff they go to is like food, like cookies, ice cream, especially late at night. Like a lot of my clients, they walk by cookie jars for the reason at 2 a.m. in the morning, and they just start to grab 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cookies at 4 a.m., 2 a.m. in the morning. And I'm like, oh shit, now you can't have lasagna this week, man. Now you got to freaking detox the sugar out of you, man.
Yeah, man. Oh, man, that's for that exact reason I do not keep cookies in the house. Otherwise, that is trouble heading real quick.
No, you're 100% right, bro. You're 100% cool.
So what about, like, when you started, how did you figure out your calories, right, for like a lasagna? Because I know for some places, McDonald's, KFC, all those places, you can actually go online to get an idea of what the calories are. But when it came to lasagna, it seems like it's a little bit different. So how did you go about that?
Yeah, it's actually, to be honest with you, if you eat out like I do for lasagna, or just generally speaking when you're at a restaurant, yeah, it's really hard to, like, you can't really eyeball it, like they say, if you want protein, it's like the size of your fist. Like, at a restaurant, you can just look at the size of your fist. That's 4 ounces or 5 ounces of protein. That would be their serving size. Lasagna, man, it's kind of like, that's why I fast for the day. It's hard for this one. I'll send you a picture of it one day. It's a tub, bro. It has to be at least 2,000 calories. I know for a fact. So it's hard to really, unfortunately, it's really, for this particular, it's really hard to ballpark. That's why it's generally just my one meal for the day, because it could be over 22, it could be over 2,000 calories. I'm not, I don't know. But, what I do is in the morning is I go back, I do switch to an intermittent fasting. I do the 12 to 5 or 12 to 6. That Saturday, and I do some faster cardio. And I'm working out before my lasagna. So I forgot to say the strategy. So I eat this wild lasagna, besides working out for the week or whatever it is. Basically, I work out, but that night before I make sure I work out, do some battle ropes is my favorite pre-lasagna workout, battle ropes and some sprinting, or something like that, or some bike sprints. And then in the morning, I'll take some BCAAs, because usually that's, just to help me get through the workout. And I'll do some more battle ropes or hour of, or 50 minutes of Stairmaster, something like that. A push-up circuit just to get my blood flowing. I'm drinking water, fruits and vegetables for the day. So I'm kind of depleted, kind of in a sense, before that. But it's really hard to measure or kind of get like an exact caloric amount for that lasagna. I just know it's a lot of calories, to be honest. But I weigh myself, I measure myself, I do all that stuff, check my body fat, and that's kind of like how I'm able to kind of fine tune what I do. So it's as long as those things are fine, and this isn't getting, this part of my body fat is not getting too high or whatever. As long as I'm on like 12%, 13%, because I'm not going into a competition or anything like that. But that's pretty much how I do it. But it is really, really hard for a restaurant, especially Italian restaurant, to give you the calories. I take the bread out. They give you a big piece of bread. That's one thing I don't do, is eat the bread or drink wine with it. Just water, lasagna.
Bread and lasagna. Jesus Christ. Oh man, the Italians, they put us to shame. That's for sure.
Yeah, man, they give you it's a half a loaf of bread, bro. Like, it's crazy. And it's really like that. I would add at least an extra 2,000. Like, I know for a fact, plus wine, man, we're talking about 5,000 calories here, bro.
Oh man, yeah, and that's also the big key that I think you said there. They give you those extras, but you do not need them. You're like, you know what? This is going to fit my calorie macronutrients. I'm not going to have this and this. And that's completely fine. Like, you still are going to have to make some sacrifices during the day, but you've got to be willing to see, okay, will I sacrifice this or will I sacrifice this?
Absolutely, man. It's kind of like that's why it goes back to experimenting. The first few weeks or 2 or 3 weeks or a month, it's not, you may feel a little off, but like, it's your body just recalibrating. If you go on a fast for a little while, whatever the case is, you could feel a little, weird, a little funny, a little lethargic, but like it'll be fine, man. And you just got to be patient and just hang in there. You'll be all right.
For sure. And so, like, I know you said you don't know the exact macros, but you got around the 2,000 calorie mark. Did you kind of just like MyFitnessPal and look at lasagna to get an idea? And you're like, you know what, I'm just going to say 2,000 calories and go from there? Because I think it's always better, like you said, to overestimate than to underestimate. Because if you're underestimating, you're going to get in a lot of trouble real quick.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I always laugh because it's like it literally goes back to overestimating. Funny stories, like I remember when I was going to college, applying to college a few years ago, and they would say, "Hey, what's your GPA?" And people would always overestimate their GPA. Like, yeah, I have like a 3.5, and they really had like a 3.0 or 2.9. It's like, yo, what happened to the other four? Like, no, it's the same thing with food. But when I got into fitness, man, I was so radically because of the relationship I had with food. I was such a food calorie like I could just look at food from weighing food for 2 or 3 years. Like I was just able to see like how much, like I just know like a cup of rice, like just off the top of my head, is like 340. It's I think no, 1/4 a cup of rice is like 320 something calories. So I know a whole cup of rice, we're talking over 900 calories. So I used to just realize this stuff that I just knew. I was just very aware with, like me personally, because I used to weigh food every meal. It was just sickening. So I understood what foods were lighter, what foods kind of you could mess with, and what foods you couldn't. And I understood that timing was everything, like, so if you wanted to eat heavier, the time would be early in the day. So a lot of my clients, they'll eat lasagna at 12 o'clock because they're busy. That's the busiest time for them. And they have a higher chance of, like burning it off. But if you eat it at night, then you have to be more strategic because you kind of slow down. At nighttime over here, you slow down. You're not doing anything. So that's kind of a strategy too. It's a whole bunch of strategies, man, that you can implement. It's not one size fits all, because I know people may not be able to do the extreme diet, like fasting, like I can. Like I wrestled for 7 years, so it's not really that big of a deal for me. But a lot of people just can't do that. So that's one thing too. But yeah, I know that carbohydrates are very high in calories, and they can you can get in trouble with them. So it's all kind of stuff. It's all kind of strategic stuff I do, man. It's interesting.
That's cool, man. But I think like a good point is for people to just do a little bit of research and try and find a ballpark estimate. Because if you look at if you research Italian lasagna, or if you research, I don't know, fried chicken, you're going to see a lot of different answers when it comes to looking at MyFitnessPal, looking on Google or whatever it is. But if you kind of get if you're like, okay, I see 400, 500, 400, 550, 430, just choose the 500 mark. Just go that little bit higher, play the risk out.
Exactly. And then you could actually, and you never know, like you overestimate, you could actually be doing yourself justice because you're like, hey, listen, I'm right here in my range, and yeah, I agree with you 100%, man, 110%. Just give yourself a whole wiggle room, man, because you never know with this, you just never know, man.
Yeah, dude, that's exactly right. And so, what are some other foods your clients like to eat apart from lasagna?
I have big ziti clients, ziti, obviously lasagna, fries is a big one, chili fries, like chili cheese fries. Pizza is a huge one. Wine with just about everything if they can, if they can. Beer. A lot of my clients when they go out to like business meals, they have to eat. They say that they're forced to eat basically like all kinds of wings, beer, like calamari, all this crazy stuff. But the big ones are definitely burgers, fries, chili cheese fries, and pizza.
I like how you have the same problem over there as I do here with clients saying, "Oh, I'm made to eat this. I have to eat this when I go out." I'm like, you can choose your own food, like but at the end of the day, people just want to be able to feel accepted by the rest of the group.
But it's funny though, because then they tell me that get this, even the wives will say like they go out with their husbands and they'll say that they have to eat because like their husbands are doing a business deal and they can't say they're fasting. They actually have to drink champagne or drink the wine or order more food because everybody else is doing it. So it's funny. It's like it becomes a culture of peer pressure now. Like you did all this week, worked out all this week, and you went out on a Tuesday night and your husband's out at a business meeting at 10 and you have to do it. That's something I don't understand either, to be honest.
It's a different world, man. And so it's bizarre. It's just like we want to be on average around other average people, right? That should be the goal. You don't want to be like everyone else because you're not going to achieve what you want to achieve. And you put it in money, you put it in time, you put it in effort. You want to reap the results, and you've got to do different things to people.
100%, man. And that's why it's weird because like I always tell people this. A lot of my clients, like if you were sick, it could take you 6 years to get in shape, but it only takes about like 3 or 4 months, maybe even less, to fall back out of shape. And that's the most discouraging thing about my clients is they can work so hard for 6 months to a year, and the second they get off track for 2 months, 3 months, that's kind of just like it's unfortunate, man. So yeah, like it matters. And, unfortunately, we got to figure a way how to get our clients to stop buying into the peer pressure, of eating late night business closing meals. Like, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, man.
I don't know.
There's got to be somehow, like we will figure out a way to be able to do it because at the end of the day, like you said, it's so easy to go backwards, and all that hard work, all that year of effort, you do not want to go backwards.
Exactly. 6 business meetings. It looks like 6 business meetings. You could be right back to square one, and that would just suck.
Exactly.
Then you got to take away lasagna because you're not going to. Then you can't eat lasagna, and that's the deal breaker for a lot of people.
Oh man, that'd be breaking the deal for me for sure. So
there you go. Lasagna.
So when it comes to obviously tracking your food is a big one. Training before the before you have your lasagna is another one. Now, what about? Now, I know people are going to freak out when this happens. They're going to have lasagna, they're going to weigh themselves the next day, and of course they're going to be heavier. So what exactly is going on there in regards to them getting heavier?
Yeah, what I always tell, that's actually a really good question, Tyson, by the way. I want to tell you that because I hear it all the time. So what I always tell my clients too is just like, as you know, whenever you have a carbohydrate-rich meal, your body just has water in it, right? It's just water retention. So the reason people lose really fast weight on weight loss plans is because they cut their starchy carbs, so they just have less water weight available. So I'll give you a quick example. Say John is a working man. He's like 42 years old, and he stops for 7 days. He doesn't eat starchy carbs after 4 p.m. or whatever the case is. He just goes to chicken salad or tuna salad, and with water and no sugar. But his body now has less carbohydrates, and I think every carbohydrate holds about like 2 to 3 pounds of water. I have to double check, but I'm not too sure. So it's just water weight that they're holding. So I always tell them, yes, you could gain up to 5-6 pounds overnight. It looks like it, right? It looks like it, but it's just water retention. So as you drink more water and you work out and go to the bathroom, whatever everything is, you'll stabilize. It could take a day or two. So I just ask them to refrain from jumping on the scale the next day. Maybe wait a whole day, actually wait a whole day. But as long as you gain any extra fat, which you can't really do it, you can't gain immediate fat in 24 hours like that. It's just not going to work. It's just like we know that, but they don't understand. You can't gain immediate fat or immediate muscle in like 24 hours. It just takes a long period of time to do that. So I explained to them, I actually send them studies. Like, I'm not just talking shit here. I'm letting them know, like, this is actual scientific studies that people gain water weight, which you can lose as quick as you gain it instantly. You just fast for the next day and weigh yourself the next morning. But I also believe in non-scale victories too. So I'm really not even big on weight myself. I do inches, like the measuring
body measurements. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. So I hang really on that because like it goes a lot with women also. Like I don't once again I want to bore people to science, but women gain weight significantly at the end, 2 weeks at the end of their cycle, more so at the beginning. So the first 2 weeks of their cycle, they're very like energetic. They feel like a goddess. Then the last 2 weeks, they can drink a little something and gain 6 pounds just because it's their body. It's just the way their body is cycling. It goes. It's the follicular and luteal phase. They can look it up and explains that completely about that whole cycle with women. And with men, it's just water, or they could just be constipated. That's just another. It's just constipation, stress. So many things can just lead to an increase in weight that they don't even think about. They just think about the last food they ate. But if you're stressed out, constipated, malnourished, whatever the case is, your body's just going to show that on the scale. But that does not mean that you're gaining fat.
Absolutely, and that's why I like that big point you said there about non-scale wins. Like, there are other things you can focus on. Weight, like your inches around your waist, around your hips, and everywhere else. You do the scale, you do body photos, how's your energy, all these other things are also going to add up too.
Exactly, and I'm glad we agree on that because, like, a lot of people, once again, they don't understand this. They just look at the scale, and then when they look at the scale and they gain weight, the first thing they do is work out longer and stop eating. And, like... Like it can't, like when my clients ask me, hey, I want to work out longer. I want to work out more times a day. I want to work out 3 times a day. I'm just like, are you sleeping enough? Are you getting enough fiber? Like to me, those aren't the immediate 2 things to do.
No. That's not the quick fix. I want to go and work out, I want to go. And it's crazy because you're like, hey, like I said, how is your sleep? How are those other things? But they just want the instant result now. And you have to realize that, like, pardon me, sorry. Like, you have to realize, like, you have to focus on the big rocks that are going to move things, and the big rocks aren't always going to be immediate payoffs.
Correct. And it takes time. And, as you know, we live in a culture where everything is like this. I actually wrote something about Uber Eats messing people's results up. Everything is within 2 to 3 minutes or at our fingertips, man. And it's really just like, it's unfortunate, man. It really takes the patient and the process building or the journey out of it. Like they have no like waist trainers. Like I'm just dealing with, that's what people are dealing with, waist trainers like constantly, and just like laxatives and like crash diets and like just something really, somebody told me about an apple cider vinegar diet where somebody lost 20 pounds overnight. Like it's just crazy stuff, man. And that's the stuff that I have to, like, not saying deal with, but it's just like, this is where I'm really spending most of my time. It's just educating. This is why I'm so happy we could get through this podcast, because it's about educating the people out there to stop internally damaging yourself for like 10, 15 pounds of weight, that 10 pounds, 15 pounds that you want to lose.
Absolutely. And like the biggest point here that I wanted to bring you on for is that you don't have to fully give up the food you love. Yes, it's going to take effort to put in, like, tracking, doing those things, but yeah, you can't achieve the results you want simple, like, fast and easy and no effort, because at the end of the day, that's going to be a bullshit diet that someone's trying to sell you, and you're not going to get long-term results, which what you and I are here for, to help them achieve.
Absolutely, man. It's just about a lifestyle, man, because once again, the yo-yo diet, man, or the yo-yo, that weight comes on. The weight literally goes like this, man. It's never gonna determine you, not unless you're like 50 pounds like, obviously if you're freaking 50 pounds obese, then overweight, then yeah, that's a problem. But like, just be patient and, get in shape, hit your milestone, eat lasagna, and then do it all over again. And, everything, everything just got to be patience, man. Patience, man. Patience. There's really nothing more. You got to do the work. Can't get around it. Got to do the work.
I think that's a great way for to finish it. Put in the work, be patient, eat lasagna, hit the milestone, repeat.
Rinse and repeat, man. That's it, bro.
Awesome, dude. So before you go, though, where can people find out more about you?
They could go on for my website is Authentic Has, AUTHENTICHAS.com, or IG Authentic Has, one word. I'm on Instagram posting daily, and I'm on my website, man, dropping blogs and videos like lasagna Friday night live lasagnas on Facebook as well. House Adkins.
Ah, dude, everyone's got to get on that Facebook and watch you eat that lasagna on a Friday night.
Eating a tub of lasagna, man, a tub,
I,
putting it down.
I love it, dude. I love it. Huss, thank you so much for coming on again. I really appreciate it, dude. Guys, go and figure out how you can fit the food you love into your diet, and I guarantee you, you're going to be much happier in the long run, and you're still going to see those results in the long term.
Tyson, greatly appreciate you coming on, bro. Great interview, and I can't wait to dig into your book a little later.
Thanks, dude. Hey guys, thanks so much for listening to the episode. I really appreciate it. Now, before you go, can you please do me one favor and go to the iTunes review and leave me a 5-star rating? That way it's going to help me reach more people with their health and fitness. And if you do that, whoever leaves a 5-star rating, I'll give you a free copy of my digital book. So all you have to do is just go get a 5-star, screenshot it, send it to me via Instagram at Tyson the Trainer, and you'll get a free copy of my digital book. Thank you so much, and I'll speak to you next time.